Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
The Gardens is a light card drafting game about building up these magnificent gardens and then walking through them and admiring what you have built. Yeah, it might sound a little more egotistical than the game is going for. It reminds me of a game like Tokaido, where you're just kind of pleasantly going through the systems. It can be a little bit confrontational at times if you want it to be, but it also doesn't have to be. You'll be drafting cards and playing them down on your board, and then taking your meeple guy to walk around, thus scoring points, based not only on placing the cards, what the cards will do, but your ability to walk around and where you are on the map or on the board will dictate how you're going to score each time. That's pretty fascinating. I like that little push and pull about drafting the best card, but you also need to be able to walk around. Now, as the game progresses and you get towards the end, your board is going to be full, so your options are going to be more limited. Usually that will increase how quick the rounds are, but also take some analysis of paralysis of trying to maximize your points at the end of the game because you're more limited on spots. And I think that works good for the length and the curve of the game, if you will. The game for me was a little bit blah. I would say about a 5.5. I could go to a 5. I could go to a 6. It just kind of felt somewhere in the middle there. It was a fun experience. I did like it, but the idea of building gardens isn't something that's super duper attractive to me. There are a lot of drafting card games out there. Drafting is something that's in a lot of games. It also can be the game some points, like in a game like Seven Wonders. And I just kind of found that I liked other themes and other drafting games better. I do like moving around. I think I like Santa Monica better for that kind of movement around that you're going to get in this one. Very solid game. I liked it. If you wanted to play with Manacon, like, hey, let's do a game of the Gardens, I'd be like, sure, sounds great. And I would have a good time. It also wasn't something I found myself pulling off. Now, I played a lot of these nature games. I know Gardens is kind of not exactly like photosynthesis or something like that, but it's just a lot of these kind of like just diluted the market, and you can pretty much pick what kind of theme you want. This was very solid. I like the look of it. I like the feel of it. But it wasn't something I felt a need to own. I'd be happy to play your copy of this game. So the Gardens for me is going to be a Purge. Here is the Gardens by Grill Games. A very nice box cover. You can see the gardens surrounding the Opera House in Australia. Looks very nice. We're going to get a rule book, which we'll look at in a few minutes. You're going to have no insert whatsoever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up some of this stuff, and I'll show you what it looks like. First of all, you can have a little board, and the tiles that you're going to have in here, and they will fit. These will be the scoring tiles you hit, and they're going to fit really nicely. And if you look in the back, it'll tell you where they go, and they fit so they don't move. I don't know what the benefit is that because you're not really moving them during the game, but you can see they fit in here, and you're going to have a scoring up there. So that's going to be the main board. Then you're going to have a first player marker, which is whatever. You're going to have these little cards, A, B, and C, and you can see that when you play an A card, it's going to go up here because the skyline matches, where a C will go down here, and that will be on the other side of the cards also. So that's very nice. You're going to have regular little meeples that you'll be utilizing to move around the board. You're going to have these little tokens that will put the two boards together and be the center of it, and these are very, very nice. You're also going to have some advanced tiles if you want different scoring that will be available during the game. Then you'll have some landmarks and etc. that you can utilize, which is a little bit of an add-on there. So components are nice. I mean, I don't think it's anything to write home about. Some of these cards can be a little bit busy in what's going to be scoring, but they look really beautiful when it's all set up. So the components are good, although it might not have the wow factor that you're looking for. Here's the Garden Rule Book. It's a really big kind of square thing. This is completely useless. It's just pages being used up for no reason. A little bit of an overview over here, and then you're going to have a breakdown of the components, which is really, really nice. You can see it's very colorful. Here's setup, 2-page spread there. That's going to be really helpful. Tell you before you begin how things are set up, and then how to take a turn. This is everything in the game. Choose a card, design your garden, and then walk it. It'll break it down. You can have examples here with pictures, etc. going through. So the rule book is really good as you're going through the different pages. It will have examples, etc. and kind of tell you how everything is going to do. Then there's an end of game and how to score those up. These are the basic ones you're going to have in the game. And then if you want to play solo, there are some solo rules that are attached to here. Breakdown of all the cards. And a brief history of the gardens, what you may see in the actual gardens. I don't know why any of this is useful, but it's kind of neat if you're into that kind of thing. Rulebook is good. You won't need but maybe 10-15 minutes to read through it. You'll be up and running in no time. So this will be the scoring board. And what's going to happen is you're going to have these tiles. They'll all have a little spot on the back so you know which space they go into. And you have your scoring. This is how the game is going to score. Now, There are advanced tiles included with the game if you want to use those. So each time you play, you can have a little bit different scoring, but this will be the basic setup you'll want to play with the first time, kind of some easy scoring you're going to have. Some of these will tell you, for example, if you're walking, how many points you get. So if you walk past 2 trees, you're going to get 3 points, but if you walk back 4 of them, you're going to get 10, so you want to get that. So each of these will have a different way to score that you can utilize here. If you're able to get a tile on top and bottom, or bottom in the middle to match, you're going to get 2 points. If you get the match all the way through, it will be 5. So this will be how you score. Most of these will score when you're walking or at the end of the game. Each player is going to get a board like this, and then you will put a little fountain in the middle of it. So everybody's going to have their own player board. So what's going to happen here is you're going to have A's, B's, and C's that you're going to have as you're drafting cards. So when it's your turn, you can take a card from the A, B, or C. When you do, you have to play it right here adjacent to the fountain, or if you're playing a card later on in the game, it just has to be adjacent to a card that you've already played. After, let's say somebody took one from the A one and somebody took another one from the B. On your next turn, you can take a card, but I can't take another B card because I already took one, so I have to take either one of the A cards or the C cards. Let's just say I take a C card and I place it there. Somebody else takes a C card, somebody takes an A card, and on my next turn, I must take an A card because I've already taken a B this round, I've already taken a C, and I can just simply put that out. That's how the card drafting is going to work. But after you draft a card, you can move your meeple to that card and walk to it, and you will score points, etc. for what you're going to have. Let me give you an example here of a card like a tree. So in our example here, it showed that I would score, if I was able to walk by two trees of the same color, I'm going to get 3 points. So if I move this guy here, I saw 2 trees, I would score to 3 points. Let's say I played a card like this, and my meeple was here, and I went 1, 2, 3, and I saw 3 of these, then I would score the points listed on here, which would be 6 points. So each of these will score something different. So what you're going to do is you're going to draft a card, and then you're going to walk with your meeple and potentially score points for it. Once everything is full on your board, which will be 8 rounds or 4 in a 2-player game, then you score the ones that score at the end of the game. Whoever has the most points will be the winner of the game. And that's a quick overview of how you play the Gardens. Who should buy this game? First of all, if you like the idea of building a garden and walking through it, as far as I know, this is the only game that allows you not only to build a garden but walk through it, so this is going to be really appealing. I do like, I hesitate on getting rid of this game because of it, of the card drafting and then be able to walk through and your scoring, although it made decisions kind of obvious what I was going to do. I like the tension that it has in the game and how it builds up to the end. I think this could be a good family-like game or something you play with your gamer buddies, as there could be a little bit of hate drafting in this one if you want to play it that way. For us, the theme mixed with the gameplay, it wasn't something that we were pulling off the table as other games that I'd rather play than this one. Although I'd be happy to play this one at a con sometimes or at a gaming night, it just wasn't for us. Purge.